Okay, welcome back to Pile of Mopars. It's been probably almost 2 weeks now since we posted a video. Work's been really busy, but we had to go to Ontario for a funeral, and that was almost a week, and we just got back a couple days ago, and then of course it's busy with work. But we've got another treat for you today. It's a vehicle I picked up yesterday. And again, I don't go looking for this, it found me, but it's really cool and really amazing condition. So we're going to give you a little show, and maybe we'll do a will it run video. I don't think it'll be much of a challenge. The gentleman I got the truck from said it ran really good. It hasn't been running in a couple of years, but that shouldn't be a big deal. He said it had transmission issues, so I'm not sure if the transmission is toast or if it's just low in fluid from sitting and leaking. So we're going to have a little investigation here and see if we can get this thing fired up, but I will show you what it is. Well, here it is. This is a beauty, straight off the farm. This is a 75 D300. So it's a 1-ton dually, factory cabin chassis. So it's got the thicker frame and the longer wheelbase, and it is a 440 automatic. This came from an orchard farm about an hour from me. No, about an hour and a half, something like that. Anyway, that's the excuse me. That's the original paint. It's really clean rust-wise, but it, as you can see, has lots of dings, farmer dings. So I'm just gonna give you a walk around here. More dings on this side. I think a lot of these could be pushed out to some degree, so probably give that a shot. It's got the original windshield in it, just a couple rock chips, but overall pretty decent. It shows about 92,000 original miles. I'm assuming that's probably correct. I mean, most farm trucks only run, 3 seasons. They don't work in the winter. That's probably why it's, fairly clean. This, you can see all the road rash here from all the little rock chips, but I think for the most part, a guy could clean that up and minimize its look. Came from BS Farm, as you can see. And it is an Adventure SE. And it's interesting, the emblem placement. An Adventure SE or whenever they're usually on a pickup, and that emblem is on the box on the back. But a friend of mine, Ken, said that from 72 to 76, cabin chassis or a step side would have the emblem placement on the door. And I've never seen that before, and I got to think an Adventure SE in a cabin chassis, which is a work truck, is quite uncommon for sure. I mean, look at all the chrome and trim and all that. So it's kind of neat. Anyway, I'll give you a little shot here. The roof is just spotless. The whole the whole channel across the front. There's not a speck of rust or anything in there. One thing I noticed though, and you guys can give me your opinion on this, on the passenger side, it says Custom 300, and of course this is not a custom, it is a Adventure SE, and on this side is what it's supposed to have, just a 300 emblem. So this is the original paint, nothing's been changed as far as fenders or anything, so I'm not sure if that's a factory screw up or if it was switched out at some point as a replacement. I'm leaning towards factory screw up, but I mean, it could be anything really. Because I mean, unless the truck was really new, and the emblem fell off, the farmer is not really going to care. It just becomes an old work truck at that point. But anyway, they're different from side to side. I'm not sure if they have the same pin placement as far as, holes in the fender to screw on or push in, or if they're stick on or not, but the gentleman I got it from said that it ran good and drove good, but it was having transmission problems, and he just opted for a newer truck. So Anyway, it's got a decent deck on it, full steel. You know, not bad. A lot of stuff could use a little bit of upgrading. You know, tires are garbage, as you'd expect. Not bad under here as far as, you know, surface rust. You can still see a lot of the black paint on the frame. You know, it's not bad. More of that road rash here in the paint, and like I think I could clean a lot of that off. And then look at the rockers here. No rust through at all. Just and even the cab corner, just, you know, surface paint sandblasting. I'll give you a little look inside here. You see the Adventure SE trim, you know, the fake wood grain burl stuff. Anyway, and the color, top banana yellow being a Dodge. I can't recall seeing an older Dodge truck in this color, and you know, I'm sure they made a fair bit. I don't remember. But you know, it's a decent shape. The pinch weld on the doors or everything are nice and tight. It's just a bit of surface goo. You can see the mice have had their way in here. You can see it all oozing out from behind the dash, so guy's gonna have to put on a hazmat suit and, you know, clean this out. It's got a bunch of Orchard bin stickers. Comes with the operator's manual, which is kind of neat. And I am not sure what this seat's out of. It doesn't move forward, but I think these tank and cab trucks were like that. But I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it enough to see, you know, if the bracketry to mount it has been messed with and stuff. So I'm not sure if this is the original seat or not. A friend of mine said that it wouldn't be because of the Adventure package, but then maybe because it's a cab and chassis, you know, it got more of a utility type seat. And you can see the dent in the front would be for a stick shift of some sort. But like I said, original windshield. It's got the Adventure door or roof panel here. Needs to be stuck up, and it's a bit warped there, so it's going to take some good adhesive to get that to stay up. But everything's in nice shape here, and of course all the original yellow paint. The door rubber on the other side is sagging, so they just got tape on that. But look at the dash, you know. These plastic dashes like to just crumble in the sun after 50 years, but still decent. A lot of the wood grain is worn, or is that? Yeah, that looks like it's worn. I was just thinking maybe it was dirt or something. But I'll come to the other side and show you inside. Okay, this one here, again, you can see all the mouse debris. The elastic is let go in here, so a person would have to put a new one in there to get that to tighten up again. And it's missing the armrest. I haven't looked under the seat to see if it's there. And then the trim is coming off a little bit. But let's have a look. You can see where they taped all this to go up. So could use some weather strip adhesive to get that to stay in place. So being an Adventure, it's all carpeted. You can see the tank back here is all carpet. It originally had carpet down here. And then of course it's got replacement laid over top because it's all worn through. But I had a quick look at this yesterday, and I will show you today. Look at this floor. Like for a truck, you know, that's just amazing. It's not even rusted through or anything. So that's pretty nice. And then we'll get up here, show you inside. So your basic AM radio. Your gauges, except it doesn't have an oil gauge. It's just got the light, but it does have the optional clock. I was kind of hoping it had a tack just because that would be neat, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, there's a sliding window. It's got a cargo light. So really good condition overall. And we are going to have a look under the hood. See all this original paint? You can see it where it fades out here a bit on the body lines in here. So it's got some really cool patina. We'll give that a wash and probably a polish, and bring that up back as best we can. The grill's not great. A couple of dingers here, typical work orchard truck, bumping into things. And then the bumper has a bit of a twang to it there. You can see it popped out. The grills, they're not hard to find. Bumpers aren't too bad. I might have a bumper of this style as a spare sitting somewhere. The grill, I don't have any, but they made these trucks 3 years of that grill there, and shouldn't be hard to find. In fact, I do know of one hanging on a garage wall, but I'm not sure if he wants to part with it. But let's open this hood. Okay, there's all the glory. See all this glorious yellow paint. Just got to give it a good scrub with a pressure washer. Probably hasn't been washed in 30 years under there. But really clean as far as rust goes. South of here is quite a bit desert, and so it's a dry area. You can see everything here. So it's had an ECU put in. It's had the voltage regulator on the firewall put in. It's got a rebuilt distributor, and underneath this air cleaner is a nice new-ish idle block. They took off the thermoquad. I guess it was giving them grief after so many years. And then also it's got a aftermarket 3-core rad. So that's nice to have because they're expensive to buy, and it's already been done, so I'm sure it's still pretty good. And there is the Edelbrock. It's just a manual choke. Looks like they got it coming out of the firewall there, but it looks pretty clean. So it should probably run. It's a 1406. No, 14. I think it's 1405. Anyway, we looked it up. Me and a buddy Ron. We looked it up yesterday, and it was a 600 CFM. So, probably a little small for a 440. But then, being a truck application, it's a low RPM torque situation, so it'll probably work just fine. I have others I could always switch out. It's got a remanufactured starter on there. So nicely optioned. Power disc brakes, power steering, and that's probably pretty much it under here. So I was just, building it in my head, thinking how it would go. And a guy could put a set of truck headers on it. And I've got a couple different options for intake. I got just a regular Performer dual plane, or I've got a Performer RPM. It's a really tall dual plane. That might wake it up a bit. That and the headers get you better breathing, get you some more power, and make everything more efficient. So, maybe you get a bit more mileage out of it. I mean, it's not going to be great, I'm sure, especially if a guy's, hauling a load or something. Rad support looked pretty good. From what I could see, there was just one little spot of rust here on the bottom, which is typical of these things. Where is it? Right in there. That's rusted through. But, nothing too bad, nothing I'd be concerned with. So, I'll set up the tripod here. We'll check some fluids, maybe pour some gas down, and try and fire it up. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be much of a stretch to get it running. It's only been sitting a couple of years. The gentleman said it worked great. He just said it was an issue with the transmission. So we'll get it running, we'll get it warmed up, and then, well, hopefully, and then we'll check the fluid in the transmission. And if we have any kind of luck, it's just a leak, I can top it up and we'll be on the road and take it for a burn around the block. Okay, let's have a look at some of these fluids. Oh, that one doesn't want to come off too well. Okay, so we got nice clean antifreeze in there, if you can see that. So that's good, and it's full. So that's a good thing. And then check the oil here. The battery was weak, but it did crank just a hair, so I had the charger on it for since last night, so almost a day. And we'll see. Oil looks pretty clear, semi-clear. It's full right to the top, so we're good there. So it's good. That's a good sign. And like I say, it's pretty clean, so probably reasonably maintained. And then let's have a look at this transmission fluid. Yeah. Smells okay, and as you can see, it's nice and red. So typically, you know, if a tranny's fried, the clutches are burnt, you're going to have really dark fluid full of clutch material, but this is nice and pink, so I'm almost suspecting that it just leaked enough fluid that it stopped functioning. So hopefully we can get it warmed up, we can check the level in neutral and top it up and see if we can go for a burn. He said the brakes were good, so air filter's not bad. It's a little dirty, but it's not really black. So, got a clutch fan, 7-bladed clutch fan in here. Although the clutch feels a little weak. But I've got lots of those I scavenge and hoard, so it's nice to have a parts bin. But let's get some gas here and pour some in and see if we're going to get anything. This could be a little messy. I'm not sure how much gas is in the tank itself. I wiggled the truck and it did slosh a bit. You know, it doesn't smell the greatest, but it's not really bad, like something that's been sitting for 10 years. You know, it doesn't smell like varnish or anything. But, okay, so we got some gas in there. And let's go inside and crank and see if anything's going to happen. Oh, the gas pedal came off. It's okay, we'll just use the wire part. Okay, so the key doesn't crank, but there's a button here. It's probably the manual type push button start. Let's figure this out. Well, that fired immediately. Probably have to... Oh yeah, there's no choke. I'm going to see what's up with this choke. It's got a manual choke attached to the carburetor. I'm just going to check and see that it is hooked up. Yeah. Okay, so I will, it's all the way open. I'll grab the cable inside and see if I can get it to close a bit, make it easier to start. Where was choke? Right there. See if I can see it from over here. No, it's not moving at all. Seized up maybe. Let's give it a bit more gas. Get this out so we don't soak it. And yeah, it fired immediately, so I don't think this is going to be an issue at all. Get more gas, and then we'll just have to probably do this a few times to prime the fuel pump and get it to pump a bit in there. Okay, take two. See if I can keep it running. Keep her going, see if I can suck up some fuel from the tank with the fuel pump, which I think it's done. I'll keep it a bit of a fast idle. I'm not sure if it's going to even idle with that choke being open like that. It is a little cool today. But yeah, she fired right up. Alternator's charging. The oil light is not on. The fuel gauge is reading nothing. And of course temp gauge, obviously, at this point. Let's see if these wipers work. Which one is it? Wiper wash. Oh yeah, look at that. We got wiper action. And it is idling. It's looking, the clock's not working on the dash, but that would be pretty normal. But look at that. How easy is that? Got a bit of just residual oil and stuff burning off. One thing I noticed on this carburetor is they don't have the proper Chrysler adapter for this, so they've got the throttle pin in the wrong position. It should be out back here, so the geometry is going to be off, so I'll have to change that. I think I have one of those kicking around, and then we'll have to reset the kick down and all that and the throttle cable, but that's not a big deal. I mean, for now, look at how smooth that runs, eh? It's not even a vibration. Yeah, I see the exhaust manifold, you know, oil leaks from the valve covers onto the exhaust manifold now. That's what you're seeing there. But fuel pump's working. She's just humming away. That's pretty impressive. I'm going to try, while it's cold here, I'm just going to try putting it into gear and see if we get any kind of movement or not. Let's see. Film you the nasty part inside the cab here. Hope we don't fall over. It's sitting in mud. Okay. Yeah, that thing runs sweet, and not missing or anything. It's running smooth. So we got brake pedal. I didn't check the fluid in the brake reservoir. I probably should. Let's see here. We got reverse. Felt something. See if I can back up without knocking the camera over. Okay, back. Go forward. Okay, so put it in neutral. I'll get the pump to pump a bit more. So it's probably what I think it is although trannies, even when they're bad, they sometimes work okay when they're cold, and then they lose it when they're hot. So we'll see what happens when it heats up. But we are engaging the tranny forward and reverse, and it's moving. So we'll let this warm up, and then we'll top up the fluid, and I'm guessing that the transmission is going to work fine, unless of course it's got a nasty leak, in which case, you know, there'll be seals or pan gasket or you know, oil dipstick tube or whatever. But yeah, so we'll let it heat up here. We'll check the tranny fluid, top it up, and then see what that gets us. And I'll also check the master cylinder brake fluid. Oh yeah, let's pop this open. See how bad it is in here. Well, look at that, eh? You know, it's not bad. Make sure my hand's clean. I'll throw my pants, I guess. Yeah, if you can see here, fluid's nice and clean. It probably could have used a tiny bit of top up, but I mean the brakes are going to function. There's no issue with what's going on here. So that's good. Oh, and I never checked the power steering either. Well, it's got some on this dipstick, so it's not empty. Yeah, it's just humming away. I can't believe this thing. Well, I guess I can. He did say it ran good, and yeah. So the only issue is going to be the transmission. He said the brakes were fine too, so let's let this warm up a bit more. Okay, so I found some brake fluid. We'll just top this up, even though it's probably not necessary. But we'll do that and it'll be done. And then I wonder if it's warm enough to check the transmission. Let's see. Boy, it's just purring away here. It's in neutral. I blocked the wheel just in case. We're on a bit of an angle here. Now, let's see if this is even going to read on the dipstick. I don't know if it's warm enough or not, but okay, so it's not even on the dipstick. So I'm going to go get some fluid in a funnel, and we're going to add it so we get up to full here. And I can almost guarantee it's going to shift just perfect after that. And then I'll crawl underneath and see if there's any really massive leaks or what the situation is. I'm suspecting it just sat long enough, it leaked long enough that, you know, it just stopped working. So yeah, let's go find some transmission fluid. Okay, found some transmission fluid and a reasonably clean funnel. Swipe some of this dust out of here and see what we can do here. These flexible ones are kind of nice. They're pretty much made for this job right here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hold it up and just pour it with the other hand, I guess. It's not ready. Yeah, it didn't even read on the dipstick, so we're gonna be safe with putting at least 2 in for sure. Yeah, it's really burning off the old oil leaks, just bits of smoke everywhere, but nothing to worry about. So you get a truck like this and then you think, well, typical car guy, right? You come across something like this, even though you weren't looking, and then you got to think of an excuse why you need to have it and keep it around. So I'm sure some of my viewers here follow Dead Dodge Garage and Jamie out in the Seattle area. He's got an excellent channel. Anyway, he's got a 92, I think it's a 92 Cummins automatic cabin chassis, 2-wheel drive. That was from the estate of Dave Rinn, quite a well-known drag racer from back in the day. It was a flat tick on there, and he put a bit of a bobtail on it to make it a car hauler. Now he's currently on his way across country to race Uncle Tony. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of his channel, but that would be a cool a cool job for this one, you know. Add a bit of a bobtail and some ramps, and this could do the same thing with that retro vibe. I would leave the paint, maybe try and get that farm lettering off. I would just polish it up with its, you know, weathered patina. Get my buddy Ken to see if he can pound out a couple dents in these fenders just to make it look a little better. I mean, I could probably do it, but I might end up making it worse. So he'll be coming out here the next week or two. Maybe I can talk him into spending an hour with the hammer. I'll let that drain down and I'll give it a check here. That's probably 1 1/4 maybe between the two. They weren't full. So I can get, you know, drip it on everything. Okay, I'll get the dipstick. Let's see what we got. So we still got nothing. I can see if we can focus on there. There's still nothing on there, so it's quite low. Hopefully I don't wreck it by running it this low. Get that another quart, another liter in here. And I'm sure I got more tranny fluid somewhere if I needed more. Yeah, it's a pretty easy will it run video because it only sat for 2 years, but still fun to see anyway. Interesting. I always get a kick out of them. Yeah, I mean, she just purrs and don't see any coolant leaks or. So I'll go under there with the ratchet and tighten up the pan and just look for other leaks on here and see what we're dealing with. But I predict I'll be on the road in a half an hour going around the neighborhood. That'll be easy peasy for sure. Oh, I'll see if it's anything on there now. Oh yeah, see a little bit there. So I'll go get another liter and pop it in there. And I think at that point, we'll be good to go. Okay, got a big jug here, so I'm gonna have to guesstimate how much I'm putting in. I think it needs about a liter or a quart. Well, knowing me, I'll overfill it. So just try and guesstimate a liter here. That's probably a half or something. I'll do that again and we should be good. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. The fact that it's reading on the dipstick means that the transmission should shift and work properly. I'll get a piece of cardboard to lay on and crawl under there and have a look. Try not to burn myself. Yeah, this would be a fun truck. I just bought a pressure washer the other day, a brand new one, so be able to give this a rinse under here and that'll really make that yellow pop. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Either way, that'll work. Just hope I didn't put too much in. Kind of a pain to check every time you pour it. The dipstick or the funnel makes a bit of a mess here at the bottom. I think that'll do us though. And then we'll go for a burn. See if this thing's got any power. being a 75 and all stock with low compression, I'm sure it's not going to be a screamer. I'm just happy it runs good. Makes for less work, that's for sure. Oh, look at that. We're just at the ad. I'm going to put just a bit more in. Since I got everything out here and the funnel's right here, I'll just a bit more. We'll do 2 gobs like that. That should bring us right up. Oil's good, antifreeze good, brake fluid good, power steering fluid good. Probably check the diff. I'll look and see if there's any obvious leaks. Usually if there's no leaks, you're going to be fine. And get a ratchet with a 1/2-inch socket and tighten up that tranny pan. I'll take you under there with me, see if there's enough light to film, and see what I'm up against. I was over at my buddy Ron's there when I brought this home, and he was oogling, and he's got a really nice FREEBIE 71, and he's Mopar through and through, and he was all over this and he really likes it. I mean, he really loves the Dodge trucks. He's got an 80, I think it's an 85. I sold him a 4-wheel drive half-ton with original paint as well, and I had to switch out the engine. 318, it had actually windowed the block, but maybe we'll film a little bit of that in a future episode if he lets us. Okay, this is probably the last check, and then we'll crawl underneath. Well, it's kind of hard now. I'm probably, kind of looks like I'm way over. Kind of like what I thought I would do. Oh yeah, way over. Typical of me. Anyway, I'll shut this off and crawl underneath. Okay, I actually moved the truck because it was sitting in a mud puddle, and the truck went into reverse, into drive with the regular thunk that you'd expect for a working transmission. So there is nothing wrong with this transmission. Now we'll just see if you can see much here, but just going to give all these a cinch. Well, that does feel pretty tight, like not like they're loose or anything. But I'll go around. I got to use the camera light to see, but I'll go around, cinch them all down, look for other leaks, and then we'll put some gas in and go for a drive. Okay, we'll put a splash of gas in it because that's pretty much all I have is a splash. So we might on our, come on here, we might on our test drive, we might run out and have to do some walking, but we're not going far, so won't be much of a walk. Anyway, we'll just tuck this in. So while I was under there, you couldn't see because I didn't have any light handy, so I had to use the light on the phone, but the floors on this truck are spotless underneath, just like factory, you know. Such a clean truck, which is a nice surprise because I've had a few of these, and you know, they can be pretty rusty, especially up here in Canada. But if I can get it to fit on my hoist, I'm not sure I don't think it'll be too wide. I'll get it up there in the air and I'll film underneath there, and you'll be amazed at how clean it is. Like the mounts, the inner rockers, everything is absolutely spotless. So that's really cool. I got the Viper and the Charger on the hoist and under the hoist, and too much work to do it all. Move it now to show you, and we're almost getting dark here. So that's one thing I never tried is the headlights. Hopefully they work, but anyway, we're just going around the block. So I'll open the gate and take you along. Okay, let's turn these lights on and see. Well, we got headlights, marker lights. This one's missing a screw. I hope I don't lose it. Light on the side, marker light. Oh, look at that. Quite often these cab lights are just a bad ground, but otherwise they're just little peanut bulbs, so that's good. That marker light. Look at the deck lights, hey? Look at that. We are in business. All lights work. Well, almost all. So what I was saying before is it'd be cool to put a bit of an angle here. You know, a dovetail or whatever they call that. And could probably fit a car on there. Wouldn't that be cool, eh? A retro 70s Dodge. And it would be neat. Both my Cudas, the gold one, the 70, and then the other one that's in yellow and primer, the 6-barrel. Wouldn't that be cool? A yellow truck hauling a yellow car. Anyway, I'll hop in and open the gate and we're going to hit the road. So get this. While I was under the truck, well, anyway, here. So a minute ago, the key didn't work. So the farmer dude put in a push button start. Well, while I was under there, and I didn't find any major leaks, by the way, just your, typical wetness of a slow seep sort of thing. Anyway, the neutral safety switch wire and reverse light wasn't hooked up. So I plugged it in to the tranny and now starts with the key. Isn't that funny, hey? Some people shouldn't work on vehicles. Okay, so we're gonna cruise up here. Unfortunately, the camera is focusing on the windshield. Just gonna see if I have to walk home or not. And this seat is definitely not the original seat. There was a bit of speculation, but it's much taller than what should be in here, so I feel like if I put the sun visor down, I won't even be able to see the road at all. My head's almost hitting the ceiling, so we'll have to get a original type seat and switch that out. Look at that beauty sitting there. I'm sure a lot of people that watch the channel and are just into the cars must think I'm an idiot for wasting my time on something like this, but I love them all. I should be working on the 71 Hemi Cuda or get Mad Max on the road, and they really don't need that much work, but when something like this comes along, it's just too tempting not to play. Anyway, I'm gonna reverse this and see if I can film a drive without killing myself. You see what I mean? My head is like over here. I should be a lot lower, so I'll have to get a different seat, but let's go for a burn and see if we can not run out of gas. Didn't adjust the other mirror on the other side. I can't see nothing out of it. But I'm gonna switch the view here, and you can see it going down the road. I really need a GoPro here, but for now we'll just do this. So, shifted to second. Not going enough to shift to third here, but so far so good. I got a new camera since the last video. It's a much more upgraded one, a lot more memory because I kept running out on the other one. So we'll see how this works. If it's going to be any different video quality or not. Anyway, I'll shut this off for a sec and concentrate on driving the truck. Wow, let's give you an evening shot walk around with the lights. Well, it actually drives pretty good. That seat's got to go though. That's annoying. So I'm in a little cul-de-sac here, dead end street. I'm going to see if I can get it to spin the tires. It's too bad I didn't have Shauna with me filming this. That would be cool. In fact, yeah, I won't go get her because I haven't vacuumed inside, and man, is it nasty with the mouse debris. So pretty much got to stick my head out the window. So hopefully I don't get hantavirus and die. But I'll get that vacuumed out, and I'm probably gonna have to pull the whole heater box and everything out because I'm sure it's stuffed full of mouse nests. Anyway, this is it. Let's do a little acceleration trial. I don't know how this is going to come out on camera, and I can't manually shift, so I'll just punch it from a standstill here and let the tranny do the shifting and see what happens. Shift's good. You know what? It doesn't go bad for a low compression smog motor truck. And I'm sure it's no lightweight either, so yeah, definitely pretty good. I turned the wheels just for safety because we're on a hill there, just in case it came out of park. And I was walking back up from opening the gate. I thought, man, that looks good from that angle. So here we go. Give you a little shot of that. If you squint, it looks good. Well, that is it for this video. Success. Like I anticipated, it was a pretty easy one. Tranny seems to shift just fine, and there's no major leaks, so I think the fluid just leaked down over the years as if it's sitting and no one ever checked. And then as far as hooking up the neutral safety switch, starts with the key. You know, they went through the hassle of installing a start button when they didn't have to. It's kind of funny. Yeah, brakes work good. Need a seat because that's just crazy. I probably have a couple seats of the 80s models that I can bolt in there, but I would like to find an original one for a 70s truck, and I'm sure that shouldn't be that hard to find. Anyway, that's a win. Thanks for watching, and we'll hope to get more videos out in more timely fashion coming up here. Thanks for watching.